In today's Black Ops 7 video, I'm going to show you guys how to get the new Gauntlet Wonder Weapon inside of Ashes of the Damned pretty easy and early on inside of the game. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the video.
Want to unlock all new mastery camos like Singularity ASAP? Check out Mitch Cactus, the biggest and the most reliable name in Call of Duty. They offer instant delivery DLC codes like Monster Energy, plus lobbies delivered in under an hour. Everything is 100% safe and legit for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Just about the community and seen all over YouTube, Mitch Cactus has over 20,000 verified reviews and thousands of personal vouchers. Make them the go-to for all things Call of Duty and even other games like Battlefield 6. Use code SPAZO to save 5% off, limited time only.
So first things first, spawning inside of the actual map itself. I did bring in a few Ultra Gobblegums I'm just going to use so we can go ahead and kind of get things rolling, get things moving. Now, of course, we're going to have to build old Tessy, which definitely doesn't take too long. It's relatively easy, but let's just go ahead and scrap these and convert the near-death experience, and then we'll grab the Perkaholic. Then we'll kind of get rolling already. We'll head over to Van Dorn Farm, which is where we need to turn the power on, and then we can start moving. On, and there we go. Van Dorn Farm power thing is ready. Now we just got to turn it actually on. Flip the switch. Bada bing, bada boom. We can hop back inside of Old Tessy and head over to Ashwood, which we got to rinse and repeat what we just did. Then we're going to have to go ahead and make our way over to exit 115, which is pretty close to Ashwood. It definitely doesn't take long. One thing I will say is we are going to need a part from an Uberklaus, which you get at round 8 if you go to spawn at round 8. So when you're doing this, maybe you're already in a match, maybe you're already on high rounds. Personally, I would recommend doing this on as low a round as possible as you can, because sometimes it can be a little bit challenging in those higher rounds, especially on this map. It can be a little bit challenging. So yes, that is exactly what we're going to do, because we got to get Klaus rolling. That's how we get the part going, which you guys will see very, very soon. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, do not worry. It is probably a very, very easy Wonder Weapon build and guide once you kind of get to knowing the map a little bit. And this will help you a lot with the Easter egg. So there we go. We can pop this one on right now up here. Then we can just go ahead and drop down and go back over to Old Tessy. We can get this upgraded, turn Pack-a-Punch on. Once we can get it actually in the garage, we can just do that. Bada bing, bada boom, throw around, and upgrade Old Tessy, get Pack going. Bam. Okay, let's hop back in Old Tessy. So to get to exit 115, I'm sure most of you guys know this. All you got to do is just come out of here and hug left. You're going to go to the Cosmodome, and then you're going to be able to make your way to exit 115. But now that you have the boost on Old Tessy, it definitely won't take you too long to get there. It's so nice, dude, having this and being able to boost. And funny enough is I actually didn't even realize this was part of this truck until, like, literally late last night. So, yeah, if you don't know, definitely use your boost by hitting your analog stick. But let's make our way over to exit 115. We have to get the Abomination Carcass. Now, in order to do this, all we got to do is head inside of the diner and sit in here and just get kills. Eventually, there's going to come a point where a zombie's going to drop a specific key. No, you don't have to be on a specific round. No, you don't have to have a certain weapon, a certain Pack-a-Punch level. That is nonsense. All you got to do is just sit around and go through a few rounds. But it's nice because you can kind of grind to round 8 right here if you wanted to. You know, you might get it very, very fast. I've had it, say, we're on round 1 right now. I've had it on round 3, spawned round 4, and sometimes I've had it on round 8, 9. It just fully depends on if you stay in here. There we go. There it is right there. The freezer key. Just pop over here. Try not to actually go down, though. That would be super embarrassing. There's the Abomination Carcass. Now we need to head back to Ashwood and go ahead and apply this to Old Tessy. Then we got to go to round 8 for the Uberklaus. So that's kind of what we're going to do while we wait. Here we go. We can go ahead and upgrade Old Tessy to get this. Bada bing, bada boom, nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and actually just Pack-a-Punch this because we're going to need a little bit of extra damage on our weapon. We can upgrade the rarity as well along our journey. But now what we need to do is we need to make our way back to spawn. Now I'm actually just going to go ahead and go through here. We actually can leave Old Tessy right there. We have the boost pads, but we are going to speed run it to round 8. So whatever you got to do, get your perks, get your essence, get your doors, get your guns, whatever it is. But first we can actually open up the sheriff's house or the sheriff's office. We can see Klaus in here. That's who we're going to be working on. One thing I do want to mention is you are going to need stun grenades. So if you want to spawn in with those, that'll be helpful. You're probably going to need a few more than just one. So inside of the spawn room, in order to get this Uberklaus to spawn in, you need to be on round 8 or past round 8. Now, you just want to basically come over by this little semi-truck over here. No big deal. Just go ahead and keep going through your rounds until you get there, or just head over here while you are already in your game. Does not matter at all. We can finish this round real fast. There's a badge for this. I'm trying to start the camo grind for ARs. Let's see. Here's our Uber Klaus right here. We can start shredding him. This gun isn't going to deal much damage because we only have it pack 1. And it's not the greatest AR in zombies. But gotta keep going. We can reload. There we go. There's one shoulder. If you have wonder weapons, it'll definitely help it, right? I think that's pretty obvious. But say if you have the ray gun already in your game or whatever it is, you'll be better off. But definitely be careful whenever you're fighting him. Come on, Uber. There's one other shoulder. Now we just got to finish the actual fight itself. Go back this way. Definitely wouldn't have hurt to throw on a rarity to this bad boy. There we go. Okay, now we just got the core. I'm going to turn off the Rampage Inducer as well. I would recommend it if you guys are running it in your game to just turn it off, and you will be completely fine. So now that we have the chip, all we're going to do is we're going to head back to Ashwood, and we're going to head back into the sheriff's house where Klaus is. But remember, we need a few stun grenades, so stop at a crafting station and get you some. Now make your way inside of the sheriff's place, which is all the way over here. Now we're just going to interact with the jail cell computer. You can see it right here. It's just going to go ahead and say installing, and then it's going to shoot over to a update requires restart. All we're going to do is pretty much try and spam stuns under Klaus until we get some sort of yellow confusion hue over his head. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to trigger this, but he's going to get up out of his chair and fly away. And then we're going to get a, I guess you could say a remote, a Klaus remote from him. Then we're going to head over to the Cosmodome. So, adios, amigo. There we go. Okie dokie. So, now our tactical is going to change, and we're going to get a new item instead of what we already had. Come on, waiting for it to trigger. Okay, Klaus remote control. So now what you want to do is just hop inside of Old Tessy and make your way over to the Cosmodome or the rocket place, whatever you want to refer to it as. Maybe some of you guys don't know the terminology for it. So go to the place with the massive freaking rocket sitting on the map. That's where we want to go. Now, once you do get over here, sometimes you might need some decoys, you might need some monkey bombs, whatever it is you need to get. I definitely recommend getting it because this can be a bit challenging. It was challenging the first time I did it, I'm not gonna lie. But all we're gonna do is we're gonna open up this door. We're gonna see this little computer right here. Just go ahead and spawn Klaus right in front of it. Now, whenever he comes in, he's gonna get this switch to flip. So let me see. I don't have any of these unlocked, unfortunately. I just prestige, so yeah. Okay, so now he's going to interact with it. We're just going to flip the switch and stand in this red circle and stare at this camera. You have to look at this camera for it to progress. If you look away, it's not going to progress. So what I do is I stare at it. When a zombie spawns in, I do a quick little 360. Bada bing, bada boom, and just keep on rolling. That's why I recommend having the actual, whatchamacallit, Rampage Inducer off. If you have it on, it's going to be super crazy. We can just keep going and finish these zombies in it. Now, you cannot leave this, so do not leave that little red circle or you will fail it. 100% you have to wait till the next round. Once you get it, go ahead and grab this ether barrel. Now, all we're going to do is we are going to head over to Ashwood. So just hop inside of Old Tessy, no big deal, and we can just drive all the way back to Ashwood, which is not far. This POI is very, very close. Now, throughout this, I really recommend, man, you gotta know how to maneuver with this. You're gonna have to because these launch pads are gonna be off through this next sequence, but maybe this will make you guys feel a little bit better. We are very close to having the wonder weapon. We are very close to being done. I would recommend just go ahead and parking it in here so it can repair. Now we're just gonna go over to our zip line over here. Now what this is, it's a sequence that we have to place inside of these little power sources, I guess you could say. Now we want to do Ashwood first, then we're going to go over to Black Lake, and then we're going to do Van Doren Farm. So you got to do it in that order, but we're just going to place it in here. Few seconds of kind of a defend thing. Trust me, it's not hard. It's probably the complete opposite of what you would think a defend thing would be. It's already halfway done. Zombies might spawn in and try and mess around, but just kill them. Very, very simple stuff. And just wait for it to be finished. There we go. It's done. Let's grab it. We're just going to directly go down here. We're going to drop down, grab old Tessy. Remember, launch pads are off, so you have to use old Tessy. But it's really no big deal. It's very, very simple. And we're just going to make our way all the way over to Black Lake, or better known as the Pyramid location. That Pyramid, that's where you're going to want to go. Remember to use your boost on your old Tessy. So let's just go ahead and head over here. Bam, we're just going to hop out, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Unfortunately, I don't have this thing done yet, so we need to go ahead and do that. I kind of forgot about that. Let's go to reload. There we go. We just got to turn the power on. We still have this ether barrel, but you have a decent amount of time. Hopefully we don't fail it. That was so stupid. I apologize. Yeah, just make sure you have that on. I completely forgot about this side over here and having to do that, but there we go. Now we can just let it go real quick. Defend it. Again, it doesn't take much to do this. It's very, very simple. You're pretty much just defending yourself. Zombies are just spawning in. And then once we're done here, we can go ahead and snag it up. Now let's just make our way back to Old Tessy. Now we're just going to want to go to Van Dorn Farm. So I do recommend using your boosts again because this is more of a longer drive. Make sure you kind of maneuver the right way. Try not to actually get this thing destroyed. If your vehicle gets destroyed while you're on this little run, you aren't going to make it. I don't even know. Yeah, because you can't run with this ether thing. So you're definitely not going to make it through the fog. Let alone get there in time to be able to put it in the actual power thing. But don't worry, we're almost done. But again, I do recommend doing this on as low of a round as possible. It's just going to save you so much stress. Now, if you are in a game and you're on high rounds, I definitely recommend having wonder weapons. Don't try and do this with a blue rarity pack 2 gun on round 25. You're going to struggle. So, once more right here. Just wait around for a second. No big deal. We can just save this zombie. I would recommend trying your best not to flip these rounds. It's pretty easy not to. But if they got purple eyes, take them down. No big deal. They're not part of the round. You'll know, especially because of your essence. Once you finish it, grab it, and we're going to take it underneath the actual house. Now, we're just going to turn it into the square, or the cube, I guess you could say. It's going to actually go in here. So just walk up to it, interact with it. Bam. Once you get that going, you'll see it'll kind of disappear from your inventory. Now what we're going to do is, this step is fairly simple to do, but you do got to pay attention. So we're going to take this launch pad. Now there's going to be a symbol up there, and up here on this silo. Take note of them. I did not mean to go this way. That is so unfortunate. We meant to go over to Janus Towers, but we can just hop back. It's no big deal. Let me go back to Van Dorn Farm. Let me see. We can't really see him from right here. Yeah, we definitely got to go over to... Bro, no. Ah, dang it. Whatever. But yeah, we got to head back over to, whatchamacallit, Janus Towers, and then we got to boost over to Van Dorn Farm. We're currently in the air right now. We're just going to hit this portal once we get back over here, and we'll grab these codes real quick. They're symbols. They're pretty easy to remember. Just relate them to whatever thing you might know in life, I guess. So let's see what mine could be, right? Let's see. We got circle with line, circle, D. It's pretty simple. It's very quick. You'll probably be able to easily remember it. But now all we're going to do is we're just going to head down below to the actual device over here, and we're going to interact with it. Now we're going to put in our codes. So we got that as our first one. Let me see. That's our second one. Just train this zombie around. Try not to kill him, ladies and gentlemen. And there we go. There's that one. Now we're just going to interact with this. Now we're going to get our gauntlet. So we got spike, recall. So all we're going to do is there's these green things that are going to spawn in. We're just going to shoot them and then retract our things. So shoot, shoot, shoot. We can retract. Bam. Then we can shoot that one. X, retract. Then we can shoot these ones. X, retract. And then that's it. We have the wonder weapon. It's pretty much as simple as that. It's very, very easy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If this did help you guys out, definitely leave a like down below to let me know and to help this video with the algorithm. But once again, thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.